There's one, two, there's two under construction now.
Right. And it looks like there was a third one that I saw look like site work going on.
I'm not sure when he's actually gonna start.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing some miscellaneous
Right, the
things.
question is that gonna generate a building permit this year, or is it?
I would assume in 2018 it will generate it.
Okay. But you've already bumped by 1,000. Okay.
Yes.
This just looks like there's activity going on in town, and I was curious if we might get some more income from it.
We're just making more copies. Okay, Mary Lou, you're leading us.
Okay, so, executive is done. Town,
We're gonna put 5,000 in there as contingency.
here, I can add that now. All right, so that's added.
Still in the archives?
No, back up at the top.
We start,
So 4130, start with
Page three.
executive.
we're starting on page 3, yeah. We're gonna take Craig's input when he gets it, and we'll just put it into archive.
I have it,
You have it?
yeah, so when we get there, I'll tell you.
Okay. All right, so page 3, just 1-2 registration, vital stats.
Yep. And so that one should be all set,
Not a guess any longer?
not a guess.
Clerk works.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, the only line that's a little over is the salary for the deputy town clerk. She worked more hours than she was allotted, so, but I don't know that you want to increase it. I think it could probably stay at the 1,800,
We've got 10 hours a month.
10 hours a month.
For 12 months.
Yep,
At a rate is,
will be 15.
which is
Yep, it works out okay. I worked it out.
a little low.
Okay. So salaries for the supervisors of the checklist, I wanted to make sure, I will go back and check this one only because they had the rate increase at the last town meeting, and I
Yes.
wanted to make sure that the hours were at the right one, and I haven't done that, but I will. And then elections, as I recall, there are 3 elections next year, so,
Down the page to elections.
There are 3, that's correct.
so that's what was submitted by the moderator. And then we get to financial administration, the treasurer is going up a little, because of,
Sure.
yep. And then the tax collector. Now, the only thing with the tax collector, I received the bill for the software so she can call Avatar and stuff, and I thought I paid it this year. I saw I did not, so I pulled it out of paying it in 2018. I'll give it to you to approve tonight. That's $14.99, and so that's line 4151.210 software. So that's the maintenance for the tax collector, and she does need to call them at times.
So the budget's not changing, it's just the.
Budget, it's just,
the
there will be
expenditure.
the expense in this year,
Okay.
in 2017. So then we get to the assessor clerk, and that looks down a little, but about the same. And then the trustees of the trust fund, I received nothing. Do you want to just keep their budget the same?
Yes.
And 200.
With it. Yep.
And then auditing, we put in 4,000 for the outside auditor and then 500 for the town auditors. $1 to maintain for expenses, and then the MS5, I can probably take out this year. 'Cause
Are we doing 4,000 or 4,500 for the outside? I thought it was 4 grand.
4,000 for him, 500 for the
I'm sorry, that's what you
town.
said, okay. Lost you.
No big deal. Then legal expenses, you kept at 5,000 each. And then the reevaluation of the property, $1 in there in case it needs to be done. I kept the personnel administration for the payroll taxes, the employer's portion, the same. And then the workers' comp insurance,
We just got a bill.
the bill. I don't pay it till I know, till later in the year, because I have to do an audit for them, and frequently they will reduce the amount that we owe, and then it's too much of a hassle to try and get the money back from them.
Given the employer portion of the payroll taxes is fixed and known, why do we have so much money there? Why don't we back that down to like 65, get it closer?
We can, we can,
Because that's a fixed number, that's just,
yep,
Yeah, just knock another 1,000 off of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
that's fine. I just usually try to make sure we have enough in there, and then when I get close, I bump it up again.
So 65.
6,500, yep. The planning board submitted their budget, and it came down just a little.
Mm-hmm.
Zoning board submitted theirs, and it stayed the same.
All right, here we go.
And then, did you find it?
Mhm.
Aw.
No, that doesn't mean count.
Okay, so this is owed to Brett.
This place.
Thanks for doing that, Brett.
Pardon me?
Thanks for doing that.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So, general government buildings. So, I guess we're okay. So, we kept the salary for the cleaning person the same, expenses to 500 the same, repairs to building and grounds to 2,000, building maintenance to 2,000, snow, shoveling snow and mowing, 750 came down, propane and electricity. So we actually, I finished the spreadsheet for propane. We actually used over 2,300 gallons of propane.
I was gonna suggest we take the propane number up.
To 7?
We've been burning it like,
Yeah, some coal.
Yeah,
You want to go to 7?
that was what I was gonna ask, was because we went through, you know, and last year we went through 1,100 gallons. In 2017, we've gone through 2,400 basically. And,
Go to 7.
and we're burning it next door because of the situation.
Yeah.
yeah, so take it up to 7,000.
You hear with the frost over there?
I haven't been over there. The,
There's water in the kitchen.
No,
Oh, there
that's-
is?
That's a good sign, okay.
what froze now was the trap in the shower.
Yeah,
That's
no
below,
emergencies.
that's below the insulation. That froze up, so when the shower ran, we had a little bit of a water issue that ran through the floor. But the trap's frozen. Just keeps moving, the problem just keeps moving. But there's water in the kitchen, that's good. So, yeah, we better
Article
go,
building's fine.
we better go 7,000 on that.
Okay,
Now, we wanna,
go ahead.
we're gonna take, we wanna take what we're out of operating and put it into a trust,
Right, that was the idea, that we're gonna,
so that we can do maintenance in January and February. Right now, we can't do anything until we have a town meeting. We wanna work on this room, and you can't do it until, so we wanna put the money in the trust so we can spend it in January and February. So it's not gonna be, it's gonna be moving is the point.
Okay.
Question on the website. I see that we spent 3,600, was that the update we did? So we're not gonna do anything? It's good for 2018, the way it is now?
No, it's $1,500 for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So we paid one, we paid another one in 18.
So I need to up that.
So is that budget good or not? That's my, the website support?
No, the budget is not, so the budget will be,
3,500?
yeah.
Yeah, that was my question. Thank you.
And then the town-owned properties, we usually just keep at 600 in case we need to spend anything. Cemeteries, the care of the town cemeteries at 2,000, and then the flagpole sign and trees installed at 1,800, and site work for the memorial area at $1.
I thought we had put in to do something like 2,000 or 2,500 on the site work for the memorial area when we discussed at the cemetery trustees.
I have it.
Remember, we had gotten the bid from the guy in Wolfboro. We decided it could be done for cheaper.
We put in 2,000.
Was it 2,000
Yeah.
For site work?
for site work?
For the memorial. Yeah. The bid we got from Wolfboro was about $8 grand, wasn't it?
No, it was 40, either 45 or 48.
Okay.
And we thought we could do it for 2 to 2,500.
That's okay, Mary. We're gonna make that 2,000 for site work,
Okay,
because that's what the discussion was, that was the intent.
okay.
On 4197, is there a reason we're gonna not put $1 in it like we usually do? Not that I wanna fight that battle again,
We'll put $1 in.
And on insurance, is there a reversal of the 05 and 50?
No.
So it's gone down
It actually went
$45.
down, yeah, it actually
Okay.
did. I get an actual quote and invoice from them
Okay.
when I do the budget. And then archival, Craig had submitted 2,400 for that archival record processing, and then 250 for archival supplies.
And that's because we have assistants working with you now, Craig,
Yes. We work every month. What I calculated was 15 hours a month between the three of us. So 5 hours each every month.
And then I'll have to get the numbers from
Yes.
Wakefield.
So we're gonna go to page 8.
So forestry, we just reviewed with Brad.
Can I ask a question on that, because I came in a little late?
Yep.
The dry hydrants numbers going up significantly. We've had multiple goes with dry hydrants in this town over the last 15, 20 years. And some years we were gonna do all dry hydrants all over the place, and then no dry hydrants. And what's he asking for this time? Why the jump?
It's gonna dredge Chickarooni's pond
Okay,
with an easement.
okay? That's been an ongoing project for a long time. But there are multiple structures within distance of that pond, so it's a good fire resource if it could be utilized for that.
It can be fixed,
Okay.
yes.
But the hassle always has been the easement as you're there.
Right? Gary and Brad have talked about it. And they
Seems like the
got
log jam is.
they've got a handshake on it.
Okay, good, that's good. As a beneficiary of it, it's good.
Yeah, I understand. When
Okay. CEO and building inspection came down a little bit because of the salary for the admin assistant for the CEO coming down.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
5,000 for emergency management to do the federal FUFRA. And then highways and streets remain the same.
I think,
Uh-oh.
I think we should, I think we should add to that. I mean, most of the feedback I get is about the condition of our roads. People want better roads, they want them maintained to a higher standard, and if we need more money to do that, I think there's people that won't pay for it. So I take the 80 up to 100,000.
This doesn't include whatever we might take out of the trust fund or allocate to the trust fund.
That's correct.
Okay, so
People,
this is just the base maintenance figure.
people want better roads, and if they're willing to pay for it, I mean, it's 20,000.
Speaking for someone who's lived here a long time, that they are better than they used to be.
Yes, they are, there's no
Yeah.
question about
Yeah,
that.
right.
But if they're willing to spend more money to make
Thank
it
you.
better, if they want to spend more money, and that's where the feedback is coming from, make the roads better.
Do they talk about specific roads? My concern is that I think there's a lot of people in town, particularly the newer people, that don't know that Governor's Road is not a town road.
Right,
And that's the worst road in town, along with the
especially
section
during
of
frosty
Lyford,
season, yeah.
the section of Lyford that's state maintained. And if people think that that's gonna get fixed with town funds, they're
I understand.
terribly misinformed.
Clark Road's getting real bad on the bend now, I understand. I think there's snow on it you can't see, but that's starting to go downhill.
We wanted to do aprons on all the dirt roads. That's another lot of culvert work that we have lined up, high limbing work. When we did our road survey, the 3 selectmen and the road
Yeah.
agent, we created
Came
quite
up
a
with
list.
A plan.
Yeah.
On Tucker Road.
And yes, there's an apron,
Yeah.
an apron, we're gonna put the
Yeah.
aprons
There's
on the
like 5
dirt,
aprons, I think. or something.
and culvert work, we gotta get it done.
Okay.
So I would suggest we go to 100,000.
So 180 to 200.
Yeah, it goes to 200,000
We had input from the state fire marshal's office about, was it tricky or it's not the end of, because of the fire access up to Tumble Down Dick, they didn't want to take the equipment up there because their tires on the fire engines were getting torn up.
Yes.
Would that be in this budget or would that be in the forestry budget?
Well,
If we put gates up, we said we were gonna put gates up and put some gravel on it to make it a little bit better road.
It's in the forestry budget.
It's in the forestry, and we didn't say we put gravel on it, we put some gates up. But we haven't decided what we want to do, it's in the forestry budget.
Okay. That's not in this budget though. This is class 5 roads.
Yes,
Okay,
this is town roads.
right.
In the forestry budget, forest fire management is where.
But that's where that would be.
The
Okay.
road maintenance money.
Yeah. I thought we were both gonna put the gate up and then grade it once or twice so that it was actually passable by fire trucks.
You'll never get a fire truck up there.
Oh, okay.
The rocks. the
And it
ledges.
it would never stay, because that, the issues they have there it is made worse by the off-roading community,
Okay,
but it's a lot of just washout.
okay,
Yes.
good. So,
All right, so that goes to 200,000.
Yep.
Sanitation I'll need to get from Wakefield. And then we had gone through the health agencies, and the only one, let's see, Northern Human Services asked for $358. BNA and Hospice, $1,500, $1,000 for the Wolfboro Meals on Wheels.
Did we-
Medication Bridge didn't need anything.
Did we get any data from Meals on Wheels and how many people they support in Brookfield?
I did not, I got data from the others. And from the food pantry, and I don't know if I brought the food pantry with me, but I have it. And,
If we're using it, fine. If we're not using it, right, that's the issue.
right, I think we do, but I could call her and ask for data.
Which of please?
Yep. All right,
Page 9, welfare,
welfare,
direct assistance.
what do you want to do?
It's just-
7,500?
I was gonna say 10, but
I'll say 10 too. 10, we're not using it, 10, the economy's good, people are working,
you know,
10. Don't need it, we don't.
And then Tri-County Cap and the Wakefield Food Pantry. Now, I didn't get any information from Parks and Rec in Wolfboro or a request. Did you, Brian?
I have
It's
not.
Tri-County Cat.
That's the one that provides, it's up on Route 16 in Ossipee. It provides fuel assistance and,
They'll help you insulate your house. And they did dentistry at one point in time, right? Tri-County Camp, they had several
did, but I
services.
don't-
Oh, that's gone now.
I think it's gone.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah.
thought it was still there, but it's not a savings by any means.
They've documented the pits.
Yeah,
We get it
I do have
this year?
documentation from them.
They show us how much we put 4,000 in, they say the town residents like 14,000-15,000.
Yeah, that's a deal.
Yeah, it's a good investment.
So what do you want to do with Wolfboro Parks and Rec?
I will reach out to her tomorrow.
I'll leave it there. We had a discussion at the town meeting.
So leave it in?
I
Yeah.
would just put it at that number, but I'll ask her to send a bill on. It'd
She
be-
did send a bill.
All want to know the use.
Oh, I'm
usage-
sorry, I saw the
usage.
zero. I made a mistake. All right, so let's just stick with the 40.
No request for 2018 has been received. I'm
The
aware.
newspaper said it was going up.
Uh-uh. So we'll probably need a number from her.
All right, so I will contact her.
Okay.
Again, a discussion for town meeting. I mean, we'll get some data if we can on how many people use it.
I'll put the buck in and get some data.
Oh, you get that? We
And
did, we
then-
did that. We played that scenario once. We
Yeah,
put
we-
$1 in and we had a discussion on the floor. The town voted to fund it.
We should do that again.
So then I am gonna put $1 in the town parks for Brookfield.
Oh, wait a minute.
We usually put $1 in there.
That's fine, but you were making a suggestion, we go to, again, $1 on
Wolfboro?
Wolfboro and let the floor take it up.
Yeah.
Brian?
We've been down this road before.
Yeah.
I guess that's my bias too. We gave it to the town as a one, and they said, we want to fund it.
Yeah, we've done it twice now, that we've had this long, drawn-out deal, and
So I funded it, if someone says we shouldn't fund it, that's fine, we can
I'd rather
entertain
take
that
it out than.
discussion.
Yeah, it's kind of 50-50 either way, right, for you guys.
But whatever the town wants, we just, if they want to, they don't want to spend it, that's fine.
Well, it's not gonna be 4260.
No, it's gonna be, whatever the number is, it's gonna be up.
Yeah.
We're just using that
I'll
number
put
for.
4216 in for now until I hear a different number. I'll mark it.
The library is 14,000.
Yes. And do you need flags?
I know, the flags, I'm pretty sure that I got them last year and they last me for a year and a half, so I'm fine, but I suggest you may want to put $1 in there just in case, but I'm pretty sure that I'm good for at least a year, if not a year and a half. Or more.
Okay.
Just cracked the new box, right?
Yeah, yeah, we just went into the new box, that's gross. Although we are using more flags, because we now have more veterans buried in town, so then the count is going up. Several new veterans in the town, the old town cemetery.
Do you want to do anything
And
for?
one in the new town cemetery.
Oh,
There's nobody there yet, but,
Yes,
There's
Why
a
not?
veteran-
there's a veteran there,
there's a veteran there.
oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Who?
Abrahamson.
Abraham.
Oh, I didn't know Lenny was there.
Yeah.
Oh, good, I'll add it to the list, thank you very much.
so do you want to do anything with agricultural commission? Do you want to leave it at
Can we
$1?
just let that thing go?
Well, you gotta check the RSA's to see how you disband it. If the town formed it, I don't know whether you do it at a town meeting, or you,
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we still got a chairman of the Ag Commission
As a former chairman of the Agricultural Commission, and one of the founders when we first put it in, I'd suggest potentially putting $1 in again. There is stuff in the new farm bill that there are grants and stuff, and having an ag commission at some point there might be a desire in town to do
or you
that.
can put $1.
Although we had a fairly large agricultural enterprise that we don't have anymore, the Tappers, so, but you never know what might happen.
I agree, I don't wanna see that go away just yet.
Yeah, and in fact,
Okay.
if we can find some volunteers, we might revive it.
Okay. Heritage Commission?
Okay, so Heritage Commission, the dues I left at 150. I put in a line for expenses of 500. I need to do some research work and stuff on reprinting the town book. We're down to our last 20 copies, and
Yep.
there's some research and things I need to do on that. That'll cost a little bit. And then miscellaneous 200, and workshops and activities 200. Then down to conservation. Oh, I didn't get one for them.
Carry the numbers from last year?
Okay.
You doing
That's what they suggested, yes.
it? They suggested that?
I thought they-
We sent it to you.
I
I'm
thought
sure
they-
Dick-
Yeah, I thought they said last nine numbers. Now,
we approved it at our meeting, and Dick, I thought, sent it to you.
that was the intent, that's what I heard, right?
Yeah, I don't remember whether it was level or not. I think it was level, but I can't remember.
It was low,
Yeah, I don't think we added anything.
but I want to add something, or at least consider something. There's some discussion about doing a forestry management plan.
Oh, yeah.
It may be funded by the Conservation Commission. They didn't make, I wasn't at the meeting, but I read the tentative meeting minutes.
We're going to discuss it at our next meeting.
And the budget's being locked in now. So if it's not in the budget, we can't spend it.
It's coming from a trust fund.
And we, that's okay, that's how you fund it, we have to spend it. We have to put it in the budget to spend, and we fund it from the trust fund. So what I.
Oh, that, I don't think the Conservation Commission was aware of that, so.
So what I would suggest is we put it in, we don't have to spend it unless we get funding from the
The,
Conservation Commission.
So we put on 2,500?
well, we have not, there's two bids, and we haven't had a formal public meeting, so I don't want to presume which of the two bids will,
5,000 will cover.
yes, 5,000 would cover it, and then we might come back and amend it, we'd even amend a town meeting to what the real number is, or at the budget hearing, if we, when's the budget hearing gonna be? Is it gonna be
We're
this
gonna talk
month?
about, we're gonna talk about that.
Okay, good.
As long as we have the money there, we don't have to spend it.
Yeah, 5,000 would cover it, there is 5,000 in the trust fund. We don't plan to spend that much, but again, in the interest of public input, we've not had that meeting yet, so we can't say which of the two bids we might take.
And what are you calling it?
Forest management plan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Specifically, town preserve forest management plan. I didn't know that, Rich, so good. That's a good catch.
Well, yeah, put it in there.
Because we would want to do it this year.
Yeah.
Do we want to continue with interest on debt? If we were to get a 10,
Yeah,
Let's keep 1,000.
yeah. Right, keep it though, so we didn't spend it, we don't have to spend it. That's, if we take a tax participation note.
purchase of town land
Yeah.
is another 30,000 next year.
Yep.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
In the final budget that goes to the town, it might be nice to, in the notes section, just say how many years are left.
Sure,
Yeah, just
I have a
as,
spreadsheet on that.
oh, good. Just
Actually, what throws me is it's
Just
a
to make
Word
it-
document, not
make
a
it clear to the
spreadsheet,
public.
so I can never find it.
Okay.
If somebody wants to know how much longer that's gonna go on,
2022?
This is our third page.
22,
This is our third
This is our third out of 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third out of 7, but it's good to know.
Yeah.
Fine. All right.
All right. So then we get down to 500 again for the Heritage Fund, but you wanted more for conservation.
No, no,
No?
no, we're fine with that.
And then capital outlay, what do you want to do? Here's your big money. We probably don't.
We were talking, we had some brief discussions on a heat pump for this room. Not going anywhere this year, anything?
2017?
18?
18, yeah.
We're going to think about doing something. When we went to the conference, the suggestion was made by one vendor that on the shoulder seasons, we can save a lot of money by using a heat pump. And it provides air conditioning in the summer. So we were gonna do some preliminary sizing.
So the numbers they were talking about, just rough sizing, they were coming in around $5,000.
When you're saying heat pump, do you mean the Mitsubishi split system or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 5 to 10. I think the Heritage, the Wakefield Heritage Commission paid $10,000 for the units that did the entire freight house where the model railroad is. I think the bill for that was around $10,000. And that's a bigger room than this, and it's an old wooden building that's not insulated very well either, so.
The smallest Mitsubishis are too big for this building. So it would be, there's some smaller ones that come from other companies. It's basically the same technology.
Yeah. I have a cousin in New York that put, not the Mitsubishi, but another one, I can't remember the brand, but it had a third setting between heating, cooling. It also had dehumidifying. And just running that in the summer, they didn't have to run it as an air conditioner. It was fine. It kept the house just wonderful. And that was a very small house.
So I don't think that would be a capital outlay, correct? That was gonna be back to maintenance.
Yeah, but you said you were gonna make warrant articles out of the,
Okay, so we'd add that to the warrant article, that's fine. Whatever that number is, we don't have to spend it, but we can put the money in if we, the town agrees.
And why do we want to do this?
Save money and provide air conditioning. They're suggesting that we save money in the shoulder season, so we don't have to run the propane. We'll have a feasibility study and take a look at the numbers. But if we don't put it in the budget, we're not doing it this year.
What's the,
So they're saying one unit would take care of this room,
Yeah.
not the whole footprint.
I don't, is that correct?
We're not HVAC guys. We have to get someone in here to physically measure the building and discuss with us what we can do. We gave a vendor a rough size of the building, and he came back
what's that amount now?
with a number of around $5,000 to do this building.
Yeah.
Frank just said 5 to 10. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
468.
So we should put,
could be a good investment if it's gonna save us money on propane over the long run.
Well, on the air conditioning, is-
That's a plus.
yes.
okay, so capital outlays, purchase of office equipment, we're not doing that this year. Road repairs,
Do you want to put $1 in there?
yes.
Yes, we need to. So repair of town roads you have.
Hold on, let me look at this, This is,
This is money that you're
Comes-
going to,
come out
Come
of
out
the trust funds.
yes,
So why don't we even put it in here? Because we're gonna spend it,
Yeah.
because you're gonna spend
spend
it.
it. So this is money we're planning to spend. Yeah, we're gonna do aprons. We're gonna do Bryce Drive, we're gonna do aprons, and maybe,
Where we're gonna do the top layer of pike, because we were saying pike doesn't need to grind, right? So we could,
so what's the number we're putting in there for planning purposes? 33 is Bryce,
yeah,
and,
we have 5 aprons, right?
yep,
Call them 20 feet long each.
Can I have a couple days and I can get you a pretty accurate number? Can I call
Sure.
it?
Text me.
Because I can get the number for a pike, because we know it's just paving.
all right.
That's on that
Okay,
chart.
so I will spend a few minutes later in the meeting and I will get you an estimate for the aprons.
Okay, so it's Bryce,
Yep.
aprons, and pike. We got the dirt on Moose Mountain we're gonna leave, or we're gonna call that an apron?
I don't know.
thought we were gonna leave that dirt until that section got done.
That's what I
I'm
thought,
just trying to make sure we're together.
because we have the 5 acres we do, Moose Mountain was not one of the 5.
No, but we took out some rough. we
Oh,
took-
yeah, I remember.
We took the potholes out and gave them dirt, and actually it's pretty good.
You know, it's frozen. Yeah.
It's a lot better than that.
All right, so that's Pike, 5 aprons and Bryce.
Yep.
And we need a number for the budget.
How many aprons? 5?
5.
5.
And pike is just a 1 or 2 inch thickness?
I'd like to see somewhere in between the two.
Okay.
Okay, the bridge.
Bridge. The 13,250 in expenses was what we spent this year.
That's yeah, I know.
That only cage, it's all I can do.
So we're not gonna do the bridge this year.
I mean, typically, it takes 2 years. It takes 1 year for all the paperwork and permits, and 1 year to do the work. And even though we've given them money and they're maybe started some paperwork, you know, and as the economy gets better, the state permitting process is gonna take a while. So,
So 219?
Either we bite the bullet and say we can live another year with it, and just keep pushing them to get the,
what happens if you put some money in there to do it and you don't end up doing it?
we don't spend it. But you know what the budget's gonna look like, 20% increase in the budget,
How much money is in that fund?
about 100,000. So it's gonna be almost a wash with respect to ins and outs.
Right. It's a tough call.
This money's already in the trust fund,
Most
isn't
of
it?
it,
A
yes.
lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Not all.
Yes, but when you talk to the budget, you talk about what you're gonna spend. You don't talk that much about where the money's coming from, so the budget's way up.
So why don't we put in the other half of the engineering?
Well, hopefully we can get that done.
That's why, I mean, let's put that in there.
So would that be the 13,250?
Yes.
Yes.
You think they'd go up? Should I go to
That was,
15?
no, that was a contract.
No, that was a contract.
That was a
price.
contract.
Thank you.
So 13,250 is the other half.
Of the engineering work.
And
Maybe, I have to look at that paperwork. I don't know, did that include the actual fees to the state? I don't think it did. So maybe we should put some money in for those fees, just anticipating to get all of the permitting done and everything done.
Okay.
I mean, it's up to you.
2,000? I don't know, I have no idea what the permits are gonna cost.
I don't either, but again, if we just shoot a little bit higher than
how long are the permits good for? Once they give it, that's it?
5 years, I believe those permits would be good for.
You want to go to 16,000 then? That give you,
I wanna stay within the 30 though, right? We said we were gonna be 30,000 for the engineering work. So we budget 30,000 for engineering and permits.
well, we've only spent 13,250.
So we can go another 13 plus a little more, right?
Yeah.
To get up to 30.
Okay. You can go to 16,750.
I don't understand the actual, Mary Lou. We didn't spend that kind of money on actual. We spent 13,250 on actual.
Sort of. But remember when the warrant article was written, we had the discussion, it was, read me the warrant article.
Which one?
The one for Moose Mountain. It was voted to raise and appropriate.
Raise and appropriate $30,000 for the engineering study of Moose Mountain Bridge repair.
So
You spent
I spent the 30,000 to put it in there.
So that's the question we had a couple of months ago.
Yes.
when you say raise and appropriate, does that mean you have to put it into the trust fund or not? Wasn't that the discussion?
Yes,
Because if we say raise and appropriate,
it's the language of the warrant article.
yes, which forces us to put it into
To
the.
put it in,
You know, hush.
so that's what I did. So we put 30,000 into the trust fund.
And then took out 13.
250.
Right.
16,750.
This is left.
So you want to do the 16,000 or the 16,750?
Yes, whatever's left.
Okay. 16,750. All right, so then road, now to transfer to capital reserve for future work for road and bridge repair.
This is what we're putting in the bank.
Putting in the bank to do roads for the future.
Because our next big project, 2019, is gonna be Moose Mountain, right?
I believe so.
We just look at the gross numbers of what's coming at us. Oh, you don't have those right?
No,
I would put more in. We cut it down because we were trying to,
we put 75,000 in last year.
we took that down from like 90 to get the budget down.
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to think.
All right, let's take a look at what's coming at us, Brian. Would you look at the spreadsheet when you get a chance? That we're gonna spend it over the next few years and see what we have to save.
Want me to grab one now, look at it?
Oh, you got it? Yeah, you got one in the head. So we're trying to save enough to cover the expenses. When do we have to have a hearing?
Before, you have to schedule it February 16th.
The last date of old
We worked
is
that.
16th,
That
so
was
the last date of
About
notice.
3 or 4 years ago, you guys put that up, it was 5 or 6 years longer than that.
But when's the first selectmen's meeting in February?
Guarantee it would.
You gotta be a little careful, because if there's any major changes, you have to have another hearing. That's the first hearing or last hearing? That's the last hearing.
Well, the first selectmen's meeting is going to be the 13th.
Oof.
So now,
So we're not gonna do it unless we have a special meeting.
right. Just as the last day for giving notice, February 16th, public hearing on annual budget. You can hold supplemental hearings after the 16th, provided the first public hearing is on or before the 16th with 7 days notice. So that,
That's the 13th.
so you can do it after.
All right, well, Pike Brook, the paving cost we figured out would be 38.7. Sound about right?
Sure.
40,000.
Now, Moose Mountain, we flipped this around, because now that we're just doing the paving on Bryce, we flipped it around. Moose Mountain, total cost of that project would be $77,904.
77, 80,000.
Yep,
That the entire length?
No.
that is 2,400 feet.
It's the last section of the old farmers mix.
And that's it.
And then we start over.
And then we're either doing dirt or doing Clark, probably.
Doing Clark. Most likely the way it's going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's saying yes on Clark. Clark's big, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
don't
good.
Ask me how big, because.
So we're looking at 120,000 plus price,
Plus 33,000 for Bryce, which,
another 40. So that's 160 we're looking at over the next 3-4 years.
next 2 years.
Clock is, so 160.
No, this is, what Brian just read to us
Yes.
was, I totaled it up to 160,000 for the next 2 years. And that would be Bryce, Pike,
Moose.
Moose.
So Pike's 40, Moose is 80. What was Bryce and Clark?
We didn't put Clark.
We're not doing Clark
We didn't
yet.
put Clark in. That's the big
Bryce is
unknown.
around 33.
So we're looking at 80,000 for the next 2 years.
Yep.
And we have in the trust fund?
Well, but we put,
We have a little over 100 grand in there, because we had 39.7 in there, we put 75 in, so,
So it's 100,000.
a little over 100 grand. Yep. Somewhere right.
So 80 would get us close.
Yeah, what's that?
All right. Don't need more if we don't need it.
I'd rather not do it.
The unknown is Clark. Clark's big, that's, we'll have more data next year.
Yeah, and the clock can be a
If we
singular.
have to split Clark in two,
Yep. All right, so let's put 80 into the, save 80, into the trust fund.
and the Moose Mountain Capital Reserve Fund,
That's the bridge.
the bridge.
Don't close that door.
Yeah, we had 15.
We had 50.
We had 15, but didn't we do 20 and 30?
We did 20 in 20, this year, in 2017.
Oh, that's for the engineering study, we put 30,000, I'm sorry.
Yep,
And then
We move money.
we did 20,000 Moose Mountain Capital Reserve Fund.
right.
So we're at,
And then, but we also received from the state the 28,000 that you designated for that project.
that's right, that's
So I
right.
put it in that trust fund.
So what was gross that number?
So we got 40, call it 55 grand in there, you know, roughly?
And we need 100, we had more in there. I know we had more in there.
didn't you slide over some of the town equipment
We
funds?
changed the town equipment fund.
55,000, I thought we put in.
Yeah, I thought that was a bulk of 55,000.
Was it town road maintenance equipment?
Yes.
Yep.
That as of 2016 had 52,000 in
We
there.
moved that over. I think there's a warrant article in there saying.
Did we move it or just rename it?
One or the other.
Rename, but it's part of the.
Right there. I was supposed to.
Because I remember it was like easier to do one or the other, who knows.
We had to repurpose it, so it's a warrant article.
Did we do it the year before?
No, I think it was last year.
No, I think it was, actually, I think it was 2 years ago.
You think it was?
I'm thinking it was 2 years ago.
Then
I
it,
think it was the first year we decided to create that fund.
so then,
And then it got renamed and renamed and renamed.
Yeah, and then it was figured out, because when I suggested to do a separate fund specifically for it, and then it was how to fund it, and then somebody said, and I think that all happened in that time frame.
so it should,
Might
it
have
should be
The point
on,
is it's there.
it should be on your list of trust funds. If it's 2 years ago,
See, that's what I'm saying. It's still named that.
Would it have been 3 years ago before we actually started getting prices?
but it, the name should have changed by now.
We should, maybe we missed it, maybe we can change it. Because it's still here as that fund. It's named that fund, but we,
Oh, that comes from the trustees of the trust fund.
let me go look at the 20.
I know what that
the
means.
earlier
I know what
book.
that means.
It's a nice orange book.
I know what that means.
I was gonna look you at that.
I remember. That's Brian, that's it, they didn't update the. So that's 55 on top, so we're close.
So that's
55
gonna
and
be 90,000 right there, right?
Yeah, I'm wrong.
I think we had originally 70-something thousand for repairs before engineering, so we were like 90, with engineering, 90-something.
But then they're talking about a new deck now.
And then we decided to go with a whole new deck,
Which is gonna be like 110 or something.
110, 120, 30, you know. Just put another 20 in, probably good.
Yep.
It'll get us that much closer to.
Yep. It was the year before, we did 99,000 to the road and bridge.
We used to put more in.
All right, so this was the year that we voted to change the name. So this was the 2016 meeting that we voted to change the name. We just gotta let the trustees know
Okay.
that there's a new name.
There's a meeting Thursday.
This Thursday
Yes.
at 6,
It's 30.
6:30.
Yeah, so they just need to change that name.
All right.
And that one's got 52 grand in there.
So if we put another 20 in, we're getting very close.
They're just about there, yeah.
So let's put another 20 in too.
Yes.
Veterans Memorial,
I don't think we need any, Craig's gone, I don't think we need any more in there. From what they said, we put a decent amount,
okay.
and they had some money set aside, so I think we'll stick, I don't know.
Town garage,
Right?
So this request, I stuck 10,000 in here because Brad put it on his budget page. He wants a warrant
Question.
article.
yeah.
The purpose of this line is to replace what we call the old salt shed out here?
Yeah.
And an additional 10,000.
The historic old salt shed?
This one. To the town garage and storage shed capital reserve fund for the estimated timeline. The estimated timeline is 3 years.
For the firehouse,
All right, so we put 15,000 into it last year, right? So it looks like,
so I put 5 in.
yeah, let's just do 5.
Until the salt shed falls.
Insurance on it.
Huh? Soon? All right. Now, where are we gonna put,
Okay, so you still gotta go through transfer to the expendable trust.
yes,
So office equipment,
that's, we don't wanna call it office equipment, we wanna call, we need a town maintenance, what we talked about, the town maintenance trust fund. Where we're gonna put the money in to do the maintenance in January and February and not have to. So is that a different
yeah,
trust?
yeah, they have to be.
So that's a
Wouldn't
warrant.
That's a warrant,
Yeah,
yeah. It's a whole warrant we have to add.
We did it.
I'm gonna add it.
And how much, how are we gonna put in?
All right, so it's gonna be called Town Maintenance Fund or something.
Town,
Can you do it all in one warrant article, or you have to have two, one to do it and then one to fund it? Or can you do it all in one warrant?
we'll be
article?
expendable, we'll have authorization to spend.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we need, how much are we gonna put in?
Town, do you want, so just town maintenance fund versus like town building maintenance fund? Because it could be anything, it could be chopping down trees,
I think we
Could be-
should leave it open to that. Town
Yes,
Maintenance Fund.
we,
That's what it's for, so we can move in the winter time if we need to.
That if we wanted to do a parking lot, or we wanted to do trees, or we wanted to do a
Leaves that
roof.
up
a
to you
roof,
guys to
we got a,
decide.
we got a roof coming, we might have trees coming, so let's put it into
Right.
town maintenance.
okay?
And
And
how much?
would you like to put in there?
We got 8,000 for the roof coming at us.
We should put 20 in there.
If you put 20 in,
If it's gonna be a warrant article, you're not gonna put it in the budget, it'll be a warrant article and add it to the budget afterwards, right?
well,
You wouldn't put a line in here for it if it's not, we can't do it yet. Till the warrant article, the town approves it.
Right, we have to do the warrant first.
Yeah.
you gotta put it here because we're gonna spend it. You gotta put it in here. It's gotta be in
Because-
here.
because
Because it's
we're
gonna be at the
gonna spend
hearing.
it.
You gotta tell people at the hearing that there's potential to put 20,000 away.
Okay.
And that's a major change. So we gotta put a line on maintenance,
Town maintenance fund, $20,000.
and that's to do, and that's why the other one came down.
So you're thinking the
Are you guys-
roof, offices roof? Trees,
Maybe trees, maybe painting this building, the whole thing's on the list.
Want to do 15 or 20?
I do 20 because I know the sign shot out front. Who's gonna put a new sign in? We gotta put a new sign in. Huh?
What's that?
Our sign.
Oh, like the
Town
town.
of Brookfield.
Our sign, yeah, that sign's gone too. They're not gonna be cheap. That's gonna be
No.
$1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rotten. Wood. Looks good. It does look good. It's rotten. Don't touch it. Is it still standing into that storm?
All right, so
All right, do
so
you
we'll do
want to put
20.
anything away for, let's go back up to office equipment. Do you want to put anything away for future office equipment? Copier, computers,
No,
What's in that trust right now?
because we can,
we bought computers, so it went down.
we can take it out of this maintenance fund.
We good. Yes, we
Let's see,
did.
happy.
right, so right now, man, what's not, we got a lot of these funds here.
It should be the bottom ones, expendable
sorry.
trust. Office equipment, great.
Town cemetery, town park committee, public or,
Look at this one. This is the current one.
no, this is the current one.
15?
Yeah, this is 16. Now, we already have a town building and ground maintenance trust fund. So, what,
That's not an expendable trust, is it? See, if it's on the top, we need a warrant article to take it out.
Right.
If it's on the bottom, we can spend it.
all right, well, but then I guess my point is, we have that money sitting there.
How much?
10,000,
We don't want to make it,
no,
a-
we got $35,000 in there.
you want to make it
36.
an expendable trust?
I think we should make that an expendable, and we can definitely take this 20 down to 5.
Don't put any in.
And what put anyone in.
All right?
We have a records preservation trust account with 11,000 in there.
Yeah, that's for the archival books,
That's for the books.
the old books.
Okay, it's just a lot of money sitting doing nothing. I'm just,
It costs several $1,000s to do each book.
Yeah.
Let's
We've
not
done-
lose this.
oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just losing sight of.
You're gonna put a warrant article together that redefines that.
Redefines that to a expendable trust. And so we don't need to do just $20,000.
With the selectmen as agents to expend.
Okay.
Yes.
So rework the, what's it called? Town, it's town building and grounds maintenance, so.
Make it expendable.
And then do you need a warrant article to put $5,000 into it, or can you just do it in the budget?
We're not gonna put any, there's 30 in, there's plenty in there.
There's 36 in there right now.
Oh, okay, fine, good.
So we'll
Thank
just-
you.
we'll
Saves
just-
money. Good.
And
We'll
Board of
spend it.
Use the money we already have.
Yeah,
Good.
And
Put
they-
something in a couple of years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good, so let's just, we don't have to do that, we just,
And then you'll have a history of what you spend over a couple of years. You'll know what,
Right.
how it's used, yeah.
Right, right.
all these capital reserves,
Yeah.
Well, it's up to us to move if we wanna do
Well,
something.
let's talk.
Go ahead. Are we done with this now?
No, property reevaluation, you need to put money in that, don't you?
$1. I'm not doing that this year.
But
but
you
we
gotta
build
fund
it.
it.
These
You have to
remember-
fund it so that in the 6th year or 5th year, pardon me?
How much is in? We're not doing, we're gonna do a statistical.
I was gonna say, isn't it gonna be cheap with Rod?
Oh, I don't know.
Statistical, we're doing
I thought it was a
statistical.
lot cheaper doing it.
It's gonna be extremely cheap. Where the heck do they have it here? Is there another page or something? Or did they just leave? God, those guys. Well, I can't tell you how much is in there. Let's see how much was in there a year ago.
Property reevaluation.
Where was it?
It's 26,770.
I think you're lying. That's not in there, is it?
You're making me laugh. Property
Huh?
reevaluation.
There. Okay. All right, so we got 26, you don't need to put any money.
What are you gonna need?
26,000.
Probably not even that. He's just doing a statistical versus Avatar that went to like all the houses and,
I think we're okay.
I agree.
Okay, so we won't put anything in there. So then the townhouse repair trust fund.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, what's in that now? Townhouse,
Put 25 in this year.
so we got $45,000 in there.
Let Mary read it. Mary Lou read it. So let Mary Lou read it. How much is in there? 45?
Yeah, if we put,
45 in there and you added 25.
no, that's with the 25.
Oh, that's
yeah.
with the 25,
So we're-
okay.
We have 45?
Yeah, we gotta get more in there. Can we put another 20 in?
See if the townhouse, we
Hold
added
on,
25.
25?
Wait, we can do some planning here. We know the material's 20. We know the liquor's 20, to put the siding on. Then you gotta paint it. That's another, pick a number. It's an easy paint job, pick a 10. So that's 20, 50,000 just to do the outside. How much is in there?
This is for re-siding.
Right now, there's $45,000 in there.
Then you have to do the ceilings, and you have to paint.
What about window work?
And the windows were $2,000 a window.
Yep.
So what do we say, outside this year?
Well, yeah, but if we don't save enough, we're not gonna get anything else done. So we have 60 in there, 50 in there?
45.
45.
45.
Now, here's just a logistical question. Would it be easier and smarter to do the windows before we did all the siding and stuff? You'd be pulling windows in and out, you're gonna damage siding and,
Because it might involve tearing off some of the outside trim to get the windows to function properly. As
I've been in the
opposed,
mindset of going.
as opposed to tearing off the inside trim and disturbing more plaster, which,
In other words, I've been in the mindset all along of just painting and siding it, but
So the windows, there's $20,000.
$20,000 to do the windows and a minimum,
What are we doing to the windows?
restoring them.
Yeah.
Just making them work better?
No, it probably would involve taking each window out and reworking it and making sure that,
Reglazing everything?
could be reglazing. Some of them may not need reglazing,
Just
but
putty?
definitely need work around, and then the
Weights,
ropey
the
things.
pocket ropes, the ropey things are all the
balances.
the counterbalances,
All that
and the
stuff.
pulleys.
20,000 for windows. I think
The problem is, the outside's going great, it's
I know.
rotting away. It's shot.
No, did we do the siding and then do the windows after? It seems like we're doing it backwards there.
Well, no siding, no building.
Solid point.
I guess we should put 25 in if we're gonna do it. Put 25 in if we're gonna do it.
And then Brad had asked for 10 for the forest fire fighting equipment.
What's the current balance in that budget?
10.
We're talking about the townhouse. We have 60.
Oh.
We have,
We have 45 now.
45
If we
now.
add 25, we'll be up to 70.
we still can't, well, that might cover the outside.
Then we cover the outside and the windows.
I doubt the windows, but maybe.
I'm saying, it might, it's gonna be a tight one, it'll be a tight budget.
And that was with 25 more.
Yes.
I guess we should put 25 more in, but we're not doing the windows this year, I suspect. My concern is when they start taking that siding off, they're gonna find trim that's shot. I mean, the pine boards are gonna be shot, often the job's gonna grow.
and there's always unknowns in old buildings.
That's right.
And it's all.
Well,
So we're gonna be doing siding and painting first, and windows will probably be tabled next year.
why don't we put 30 in? If the town doesn't like it, they can say no.
Okay.
They can say no. All right, so make it 30. So now we're going down to,
And then the last one is forest fire fighting equipment. That's the other thing on note on that.
Won't they be repairing those windows from the inside? That's where all that potting bees and everything come out, that all comes inside to get to the weights, et cetera.
You can get to the weight, yeah, but if you gotta take the whole,
Panels
if you
come
gotta
out
take the
from
whole
the
frame
inside.
off, you're gonna be taking it from the outside. You know, if there's, depending on what work needs to be done. And the last thing you wanna do is loosen up more plaster. But that, we know what kind of expense that is. You start messing with the plaster around every one of those windows.
I don't think those windows were put in like a one unit, like an Anderson window or something, they were built in place.
No, they were dropped in with the exterior casing on them.
Okay?
all right, so that was, we're okay, now we got this.
So we agreed on 30 grand, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So now we got this with forestry.
We didn't even spend any of the money this year.
He spent it all.
Oh, the 10 grand?
No,
The
he
trust?
spent his,
His operating budget, he took the,
he took his operating
He
budget.
uses, but that's what I'm saying, he didn't spend any of those
okay, that's right.
from last year. So,
He wants $10,000 for equipment.
To bring a total to 20, because he's got 10.
He's already got 10 in there.
He's got 10 in
Yes,
there
he
now.
has 10 in there.
And an additional 10 for the town garage and storage.
But you put that down to 5.
Yes.
Is he giving you,
I wouldn't put the extra 10 into the equipment until we know what we're buying.
that was my question, do you know what you're gonna get?
We got
That was my question.
we got 2 forest wardens, dedicated forest wardens in town. How much equipment do we need for 2 people that are dedicated? We got Champing and Brad. The other 2 are Wakefield's roles. So we got 2 people that are dedicated wardens. How much equipment do we need? So let's wait and see what he wants to buy. He can raise it at the town meeting.
Yeah.
Do you want to put it at 0, or do you want to ask him back?
I put it at 0.
Okay.
To warrant, he wants us to, what do you want to do? What do you guys want? That's what I would do.
I can bring it up to the budget hearing.
You put it at 1, you keep the line open, right?
Good.
That's what I did, is we didn't spend any of the money this year.
Well, you don't need to keep the line open because it's a trust. You're
It's a
just,
trust.
you can put 0 in this year and put 10 in next year because the trust fund's not going away.
So, 0.
Okay.
All right, so now we're done with this budget, right? So now we have to,
Yep, the only number I need is repair of town roads.
yes? So we have to talk about what we're gonna do a hearing. And what we'll have to do is meet again to make sure we're okay before the hearing, because we have to go through this, right? So, with our calendar, Lori updated the calendar. Thank you, Lori.
So that's the meeting, that's the thing. The first hearing, and then you can go past that.
We gotta be careful, because we gotta get to the town report. It's gotta be in the town report.
So we're gonna push it up,
That's right.
we need another meeting.
I think so.
And we got,
We're here on the 9th.
we got the 23rd. 30th.
Want to do it the 30th?
Sure.
Could we do this as a plan? We review this again
Yep,
on the
Next-
23rd,
Next selectment meeting, and then the 30th, we do the public hearing.
and we can post the hearing for the 30th already.
Yeah, we could do it now.
when's the 30th?
The
Is that
following
Tuesday.
Saturday?
The
Oh, the following Tuesday. Okay,
I think that makes most sense, give us one more crack at the budget,
Make sure we know we're
any
done,
loose ends, get the Wakefield numbers in,
Yeah.
all that jazz, and then the 30th, we have the hearing.
and we can advertise that as the hearing, put that in the paper.
What time for the hearing?
6:30.
6:30.
Goodbye, we'll be talking about this and
Okay, thank
we'll
you.
let
This
you
is
know.
very interesting, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
6, huh?
6,000 for aprons.
6,000?
6,000 for April.
Each one?
No, no.
No, jeez,
Oh, total.
don't do that to me.
So then,
It's a big apron.
so Bryce is 33,
Yeah, and I gave it,
aprons are 6, so that makes,
And then-
puts me at
and
39.
then Pike was,
And
what,
then what's Pike?
38, is that what I said? Pike was 38, so call it 40 for Pike.
So 40 and 33 and, so 40 and 40,
That's right,
80.
160 it came to. 40, 40, and 80.
160 you want to put in?
That's what we're gonna spend? No, that's
No,
not.
no,
what
no,
we're-
no, no,
that's
no,
not
no,
what we're
no,
spending.
no,
That's what we're gonna spend over 2
2
years.
years, well, wait a minute, you just jumped.
Okay, so 80 for each year.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
and that doesn't deal with Clark. We're gonna get feedback on Clark.
Yeah, Clark's a couple years
Because
away.
Being paved up, being plowed up.
So that includes
All right.
Bryce, Pike, Moose, and the Acres.
No moves.
I need this.
All right,
We also need all the warrant articles that are going to cost, have money associated with it.
oh, yeah.
We need that for the following Tuesday meeting. Because we have to have everything we're going to spend. All right, so what else do we have? It's only 7:30, we have plenty of time. We have bills to pay, do we have any mail we should read, do we have any, we should comment on this? What do you want to do with this Wheeler question?
My knee jerk doesn't say we should talk to Laura on that.
My knee jerk is we should get some input from the neighbors.
I need you, because I don't think we have the authority to authorize registered vehicles on town roads.
Yeah, we can, these are registered. And we have to take, we can authorize.
They're not registered.
You're there.
Recreational,
Yeah,
is
they-
this the snowmobiles?
Yeah, they have to be registered.
They have to be.
They're registered,
The
but
state will
they're
grant
off-road
them.
registrations.
Yeah.
Off-road registrations.
So I just found it weird that the police
So-
punted it to us.
Is Garney Road off-road?
It's the,
You mean Clark?
Fine,
No,
the
that's
sel-
on-road.
that's on.
the
You need a
sel-
license plate.
The selectmen can authorize.
They have, you have the authority to authorize partial use of the road as a trail.
That's right.
And they're gonna hang on the berm or when the
Prop-
road's, when the road's covered.
So when are we gonna authorize Moose Mountain from Governor's Road up to the snowmobiles and trail?
If we want to, we can. The only thing that's been authorized is tumble down deck,
Right?
and that's been authorized. But everything else is unauthorized, which means you can get pinched. And the Fish and Game and the cops asked about that. What's authorized in this town? And that's the only stretch. Anything else you're at risk. I think we should ask neighbors too. Oh, here's Brother Ed.
Why can't we just make all the roads registered
I mean, authorized?
or authorized?
That was my thought. If you're gonna do it for here, just say snowmobiles and put a speed limit of 10 miles per hour. As long as there's snow on the roads, you can go on.
Or bring that up at town meeting at least.
To do, yeah, I think that's probably the best place to do it. I don't wanna,
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have the ATV people who want to be on the road, which maybe
See,
do.
my bias is to go the other way and say no, because you can trailer it to a trail, and that's what everybody else does.
What happens when they crack up with a vehicle?
They have
We get
insurance.
hung off the drive.
No, they got insurance.
we know that.
You gotta ask the residents what they think. I mean, if people are doing it on
Insurance in this state, right?
no. So you're still liable. You still have insurance. I mean, how do people feel in Moose Mountain? If they're using Moose Mountain, is it okay? People like it?
Oh, you said you could ride on the road, I assumed it was safe.
You can only ride if you give permission. We don't have to give any permission. But the people, what do the neighbors say about people riding on the road? That they like
You
it?
might wanna ask a neighbor who's been jumping across the street, going through the woods to the trail for years. He don't ride down the road, he goes across the street, which is a legal thing, no matter where you are,
Cross the street.
crossing the
Yeah,
road.
you can cross the road, that's correct. You're not supposed to ride down it, but you can take it right
Two
across.
houses down, that's what he does. Crosses the road.
Where?
Young, I say young, Jim Whittemore. Jim Whittemore.
I guess I don't know where you're talking about.
The log
He
cabin,
has a log cabin.
heading towards McDonald's farm.
Oh, down here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just below-
Two houses
Just
down. from-
two houses down from this property. There is a house in between them.
I think we should get some input. I don't think we want to do it at town meeting. I think we could.
What? It's when towns are, it's when towns are waiting. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And, a lot of these trails are just, you either have to cross private property, and some people don't want that, obviously. And these trails are right there, they're within close distance, there's hardly any parking there. You know, there's no parking near any of the trailheads for the most part.
Oh, there's plenty of parking.
Some of the trails,
You go-
only near the train tracks.
No, people park left and right up in Moose Mountain. They park at the diner.
Yeah, but there's other trailheads around. That's what I'm saying. There's a couple trailheads right on
Up by us.
Stone.
Or it's Tibbetts Hill.
And then Tibbetts Hill, there's another one.
Those
There's
are
a-
trailheads with parking?
No parking,
Yeah,
that I'm aware. Is there parking?
It's just a trail, no.
What's this?
It's
What
just
are you
a trail
talking about?
crossing a road, right?
Right, that's
What?
just a
Yeah.
trail.
That's not a
What are you talking about?
There's a snowmobile trail up on Tibbetts Hill that comes down,
And on Stoneham, you know, it,
goes across Stoneham.
Does the road agent have an opinion? With respect
Always.
to, maintenance of the road after we,
That would, well, my concern would be, you know, packing down, the issue with snow is when it gets packed, your plow blades aren't gonna, they're gonna ride up and over it, and now, we get the snow, you know, it's hard enough to keep the roads clear without using literally tons of salt. Then you pack it down and, you know, you get the road clear and they're riding up on the bank and the snow's getting pushed out on the road and it's getting packed and, so I do have some concerns. I mean, I do have some concerns.
I just think the number of snowmobiles that are gonna be doing it and the amount of distance they're gonna be on the roads is gonna be relatively nominal. But it's,
And I don't think we know. I mean, there's a bunch of people that have machines.
yeah, oh no, that's, a lot of people live up there.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do up there in the damn winter.
Got plenty of access to the trails with all the parking lots that are available in this area.
But the idea, if I live a house and I'm 100 yards from the thing, what, I'm gonna load my trailer, drive it over there, unload my trailer,
No,
then,
you're gonna do it without, you're gonna do it like everybody else does. You're just gonna do it, hope you don't get caught.
I'm gonna do it, go buzz up the road. That's what I'm,
I'd leave it at that.
turn the planet. No, they're asking for an answer, so, I don't know, I'm all for it.
I'd say no.
I'd say no.
All right, so make a motion. I'll make a motion that we not authorize this. I make a motion, let me think about this. I want to be more generic. I want to be more generic and say that, make a motion that we maintain the existing policy of ATVs and snow machines only available to the Tumbled Road designated. Hold on, Lori, we're gonna do it again. Yes.
Just a procedural question. During town meeting, for instance, I could make a motion and change that, correct?
No. It's gotta be on the warrant.
I thought anybody in that room could have a motion and everybody.
It's up to the moderator. It's gotta be on the warrant. The warrant says that we're gonna talk about these things. If it's not on the warrant,
We can't have a motion come before?
yeah, but it's not on the warrant. Moderator doesn't stop blaming. If you wanna put it on the warrant, give us 25 signatures.
You have till February 6th.
Thank you, that was gonna be my next question.
But don't give the petition to Virginia.
I'm sorry, the clerk is still looking for my, did she find it?
Not that I'm
Okay,
aware
well,
of.
she's still looking for it. She
There's
said
a
she
new
has
one's
it.
being
There was
circulated.
a new one.
I've signed
All right.
Oh, there is.
the replacement one, yes.
I'm not sure how legal it is,
Something to the effect that.
because usually you sign your name and then you print
Okay.
it.
Because we don't want
A
this
lot of
to,
those
uh,
signatures
escalate.
on the new one, I wasn't able to read the signature. If she can't read the signature, she's not gonna know if they're a voter in this town.
Okay. So the motion is, trying again, that we not change the town's policy with respect to ATVs and snow machines with respect to the usage on town roads. And I think that means we just allow a tumble down, take away at the end,
Right.
where you come out and go back up. I made the motion.
Second.
Discussion.
I don't agree with it.
All in favor? Yes?
Aye.
No.
Lori, could you draft a letter saying we're not changing our policy? Which means they shouldn't do that. Okay. We got mail. We have
Checks, bills.
checks.
There's only a couple pieces of mail.
This is the petition that's being circulated with respect to the town meeting.
May I approach the board?
Yeah, take it. We don't want it. You own it.
There's only 6 there.
That's a new one, in case you can't find the old one. Dr. Marsh started that around.
Yeah, he started that at the coffee on Saturday.
I certainly hope that she can find it, because she said she inserted it in the same folder that the minutes are for that meeting, so I hope she can find
There's
it.
a,
Thank you, thank you.
all right, what do you got for mail? Mail?
I put.
That had a lot of signatures on it.
It is 6 or 7.
No,
We've got
the one,
something-
the missing one,
Yeah.
had 100 signatures on it.
Over 26.
Oh, yeah, it had a lot of signatures.
Is that the Saturday meeting?
Yeah. We got something from Charter Communications that they're raising the rates and changing the lineup on your cable TV. We've got the Stratford EDD annual report, SRPC annual report, Commissioner's handbook. We've got checks to sign. These are
Payroll
bills.
checks.
Let's read, you gonna read the bills?
I'll sign them and read them.
These will all be written, dated December 31st.
Okay, Granite State Minerals, salt, $2,019.73. It is approved. Ospey Aggregates, coarse wash sand, lots of loads, 10 of those, for $2,142.13. So,
That's the sand.
that's the same.
The shed's empty again.
How it's all today. As soon as that comes in, we'll have more sand.
Another ice stone Saturday, enjoy.
Thanks.
I'm gonna be the bearer of good news. All right. New Hampshire Municipal Association membership dues, $1,050. The portable pump that Brad bought, so what's the price?
4,000,
Oh, so this is all the stuff that comes with it, okay. And all,
more than you ordered.
and all the fittings, hand primer, what are those? Total amount, $4,406.
Now, that came out of the operating budget, not the,
That's correct.
That usually, effectively uses the entire budget.
Another bill from Brad for the defibrillator batteries, $374. That's AED Superstore. 10 construction. Backhoe work, six-wheeler work, and pickup work. Presume this is all snowbank and plowing?
Yep.
$9,419.50.
Let me just check the dates. That's through yesterday.
Yes,
Okay, that's good. That would do with a big storm.
Hmm.
With
And a lot of wind.
a-
All right, Primex, we have our workers' comp bill through December 31st, 2018, $1,323.
I probably won't do that for a while.
Yeah, wait. Long Meadow. A portable backpack blower gas echo, $499. Again, that was bought as forest firefighting equipment. White Mountain Oil Propane, we had a heating issue in our town hall, and they fixed it for $155. CAI Technologies, quarterly maintenance, $187.50. Fairpoint, $42.16.
So that's one. Here's the other.
And the other Fairpoint, $84.07. One of them is phone, one of them is cable, or internet, excuse me. Postage for Jennifer McGowan, $4.97. Avatar Software, $1,499. That is tax collecting software. Ossipee Mountain Electronics.
These are all last year's bills still?
Yes.
Yes.
We have, what is this?
it's probably radios for the forest guys, I bet you.
You are right, sir.
Yeah.
Remember we authorized radios for the guys?
Yes. So we got one radio, programming, and speaker mic.
And how much is that?
$305.20.
So that takes us 500 down to like 200.
You've used it all.
Used it up.
He tends to do that every year.
Pardon me?
My experience is that department tends to do that,
Yes, it does.
yeah. Based on prior year knowledge.
Staples, $192.93. And
Paper and miscellaneous office supplies.
You didn't sign this
toner,
Toner.
paper,
one. You didn't sign that one.
Duracell batteries, Oops. And that was 192.93, if I didn't say that already.
That's all.
Those. I'll make a motion that we accept the bills as read on the record.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You also have on the agenda a town credit card.
The issue was raised that it might be helpful for the town to have a credit card, so that when purchases have to be made, individuals don't have to use their own personal card and get reimbursed. I think the proposal is that the card be maintained, controlled by you, the administrative assistant, and that you'd be the only person making the charges? You want that responsibility?
The idea was to keep it cleaner and neater, use a purchase order system.
That was the proposal, the request.
I would like to speak to it.
Yes, ma'am.
So normally, I would say that I am not in favor of credit cards for the town. I have dealt with them in multiple locations. I typically have trouble getting receipts, tracking, knowing where the expenses are going. However, I did call our bank and am talking to a woman tomorrow who's in charge of issuing credit cards for Meredith Village Savings Bank. It's not done by their bank, it's done through a different bank. So I think if the controls were in place, I might not be quite so opposed to it. I just wouldn't want it to be, yeah. My other experience has been where people will photocopy it, both sides of it, so they can just, oh, let me just take a copy of that, and then I can use it when I need it. And I would not want to see that happen. I would prefer not to see that happen.
The easier it is to spend money, the more it gets spent.
Yeah. And I would also like to see a limit spent on, like a credit limit put on it, that X amount would be,
Reasonable credit, like $1,000 credit limits.
I would think you'd almost have to go to 3,000 to 5,000, but nothing more than that.
No, I guess if you're gonna be buying pumps and, yeah, okay.
So that's my input.
Yeah, Frank?
As the former finance person at my church, we had this exact same discussion for the exact same reason, and we voted not to do a credit card for all the reasons I think Mary Lou was just bringing up. And instead, we instituted a petty cash account for $100, because a lot of these purchases that they wanted the credit card for was go buy stamps, go down to the post office and buy $20 worth of stamps. So instead, we limited our exposure. We had a petty cash account, and the one person that was the administrator for the church who administered it was responsible for putting the receipts in, and then it actually turned out to not be an accounting. It was
Right.
safer, no credit card, and the accounting turned out to be fairly straightforward on it, so. And it limited the exposure of the church to $100 in the petty cash account.
See, I don't think it's, I don't think it's fair for the, I don't think it's fair for the town to ask individuals to use their personal credit card. However, I don't have any problem using my card for purchases, because I'll make sure that you have the controls on it, why it's being spent, and I'll put the bill in.
Well, if one wants to use their own card, they can. If they don't want to use their own card, they don't have to.
And how do we buy stuff? That was the question. See, how do we buy?
Write checks.
We could do that. We, get a purchase order up front.
Right.
So you'd have to wait 2 to
Yeah.
3 weeks to get a check written and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think a town of 700 people has to move that fast.
We don't.
Right.
You know that.
Well, if an individual wants it faster, then they can put up their own credit card.
Right.
Otherwise, you go through the system. I have found in my, oops, I'm sorry, I just started talking.
You were talking before this hand went up.
Okay. Anytime that I've wanted to purchase something for the town, when you say, I'd like to buy this for the town of Brookfield, they want an authorized person's okay or a PO, and I've had no problem with them just billing the town. Culverts, cutting edges. And granted, they're bigger things. They're not going down to the post office and buying stamps. Maybe a petty cash account with $600 in it. That would cover that.
Oh, I don't think you'd want to keep $600 in cash in this office. Sorry.
I don't know, I'm just.
I would
Yeah,
want,
everything's working the way it is. I don't see a need for a credit card.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The county had a big problem with credit cards. What I would do is you're gonna have an auditor now. Just ask for a consult and make sure, because I heard somebody say purchase order system. I don't know what that meant, but just make sure if you're gonna use a credit card, make sure the auditor knows how you're gonna do it. There's
there would have to be a policy, right?
yeah, there should be a policy. And it should be handled the way the auditors know how to handle it. That way, when they have to do the auditing, it all matches up, it's easy for them to do it. That's nothing wrong with credit cards, you just make sure you're following the standards of, government accounting.
I agree. So my bias is no credit card.
I agree.
I see the convenience of it, and I see the idea that if we need to buy something, promptly and it's more expensive than not, to me, it's a slippery slope, So, I think things are working now, I don't see the need, but, we have one credit card now that we use in the Staples account, which, but that's readily controlled, so. I don't know.
Okay, so consensus is no card, huh? That's my bias.
Need a motion?
I don't think so, we're just not gonna do
Okay.
it. All right, anything else?
What spurred that? Like who?
Off the personal, so
I've seen it on the thing,
we can talk about it.
on the agenda.
On non-public, we can talk about it.
No, I don't know if it's not, I'm not
We
curious.
don't want to talk about people that don't want to do it.
I don't like forking out money either for the town, so.
Town's usually good for it, you just have to.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on the agenda that we really should not? Theory's done, credit cards talked about, Brad's done, the budget we squared away, we're gonna do the final walkthrough at the next meeting, and then we'll have the hearing for the 30th. Is there anything else?
I'm good.
Oh, what time did you set the meeting for the 30th?
6:30.
6:30.
We'll just keep the regular.
Okay. Yes,
Are you
ma'am?
gonna start the next meeting early to go over budget stuff one more time, or are you gonna get that done?
The budget's more or less done, so we're just gonna fly through this. I'm saying, I'd say no need, but.
Okay.
Okay. No need.
So just stick at 6:30? Okay.
6:30, and we'll try to get through the agenda, because we didn't touch these things. Anything you want to tell us about the road engineer? It's been a tough weekend, we appreciate what's going on. I mean, it's been tough out there, believe me.
You got enough sand for Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, meeting's adjourned, thank you.